Okay. Another film review. Gotta take a sip of water because we're talking about Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers. Wow. What a film. I did not have high hopes for the MCU with a lot of their recent films. Captain America Brave New World kind of was a step in the right direction, but there was a little bit there that it was like, okay, I don't understand why we're taking some of the routes we did. We're setting up for a lot, setting up for the Avengers coming back in Captain America Brave New World, but now, with Thunderbolts, we're seeing the most unlikely group of anti-heroes coming together to go up against somebody that they all hate, and then in turn become the heroes. I couldn't believe it. Natasha Romanoff is just, she's smiling ear to ear right now. I can tell by the fact that Yelena is now technically considered an Avenger. Red Guardian, that one I don't understand. Red Guardian is now considered an Avenger. This guy literally sold his own children to Dreykov for the Red Room program. And not even really his children, but he sold them away. And that, it's going to take a little while before I actually kind of ease up to the guy a little bit. He kind of gets me with the dad humor. Kind of gets me. It's, he's a very likable character, but at the same time, there's like that little thing in the back of my brain that's like, I don't like what he did though. And he hasn't really mended that yet. So hopefully there's something that he can do in the future that mends that for me and makes his character arc come full circle. John Walker has not changed. John Walker is still the exact same. He is, quote unquote, an asshole, as they said in the movie. He's gonna be this way for a long time. I don't think there's gonna be a change in his character, and I don't think he needs it. Ava Starr as Ghost, Hannah John Kamen, her character, honestly, for that time jump from Ant-Man and the Wasp to Thunderbolts, I kind of like how we finally got a little bit of an idea as to what she's been doing this whole time, working for Valentina. It's very weird to think that she ended up becoming an anti-hero even still after dealing with all of the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out whether Goliath, God, I can't remember his name. I'm a Marvel fan. I know every character, and yet for some reason I can't think of Lawrence Fishburne's character. Regardless, I wish we knew more about what happened to him. Taskmaster, really, I don't like what happened to her. I don't like how they've done her character. I feel like they had potential at the end of Black Widow, but Thunderbolts with Taskmaster, they butchered Taskmaster. And there was originally a draft of Taskmaster that she was going to continually forget who John Walker was and keep trying to kill him. I would have loved to see that. That would have been hilarious. Yeah, it would have gotten a little repetitive, but having that on the back burner the whole film, like, okay, at any moment she could do this, kind of reminds me of like the Eternals thing where Thena could out of nowhere just get mad weary and start attacking everybody. I would have liked to see that, but they just straight up killed off Taskmaster within the first 20 minutes of the film. And that sucked. That is probably the only thing about the Thunderbolts that I don't like. Bucky. He takes people to places, and he had a cool moment in the movie, and he's got a couple of cool CGI moments where he's like, putting his arm up, hitting the car and knocking it around everybody. But he doesn't really serve much of a purpose in terms of the group's connection as heroes, I guess. I don't know. I kind of feel like Bucky's just there to be there in this movie. And I kind of don't mind that, because I don't know, there really isn't much that you can do with Bucky to help further his character, because he's already gone through all this stuff. Falcon and the Winter Soldier already pushed him past all of his issues and got him to be who he is now. In the movie, he is almost a councilman, or not councilman, a congressman. Future Congressman Bucky Barnes, James Buchanan Barnes, he almost becomes a congressman. And then ultimately that falls through, and, you know, that doesn't happen, leading to this whole thing with Valentina. But I don't think we needed that. I'm glad Bucky was there, but I don't think we would have ever needed him to have any further character development, because, like I said, he already went through it with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So honestly, at this point, I'm glad he was there and that he was able to help everybody, like, take down Valentina in some aspect, not really fully, but, you know, I'm glad that he was included. And then Bob, oh my God, he has a great story. He has a great inclusion in this universe, and I'm glad that they didn't just kind of go the route of like, oh, insanely superpowered, blah, that's, you know, it's going to be impossible to kill, blah, massive threat. We delve into the character. We get to see that he was an addict. He was put into this program to, you know, kind of like be a test subject, maybe help him cure his addiction, do all this stuff. And he just wakes up in this casket, this capsule, whatever you want to call it. And he's got no clue where he is, doesn't know what happened. And suddenly he's invincible. He can't be killed. He is insanely overpowered. I mean, literally, Red Guardian tries to stab him with a knife, and that thing breaks before it even contacts the skin because of how powerful Bob is. The Sentry suit, chef's kiss. Perfect suit. Honestly, very happy that Lewis Pullman got Sentry instead of Steven Yeun. Steven Yeun, he would have been a good Sentry, I think, in terms of conveying emotion. But Lewis Pullman looks the part a hell of a lot better. Lewis Pullman as Sentry is probably one of the best castings that I have ever seen in the MCU. And the storyline of Void, understanding the Void, understanding all of these, like, I forget what they called them, but the not scare rooms, the trauma rooms, whatever it is, where Void literally is capturing people and putting them into just rooms that are just nightmares of their past and all these other things that they hate. That was cool. That was insanely cool. And the funniest part about all of that is, as soon as all of this is done, Bob is just standing there like, yeah, I was great, but why was I great? What happened? Everybody just went through the most crazy shit ever, fighting a random chicken guy, and all of a sudden, he has no memory of it. He has no clue what happened. It is hilarious. But, oh man, and Valentina, at least she's kind of been found out now. At least she's been found out, because that she deserves to not have a major part in this kind of stuff anymore, because, you know, villain. I'm glad she wasn't killed off, but I kind of hope that we don't see her again. And that's not because I don't like Julia Louis-Dreyfus as an actor. She's great. She played Valentina perfectly. But I don't want to see Valentina anymore. I think this is a nice conclusion for her story. I think that she could just move on, you know, not be a part of anything anymore, just kind of go in hiding. I'd be fine. I'd be fine if she went into hiding. It's not like she's going to be able to do much. If she does, people are going to find her. They're going to take her down again. But I don't really see her as a threat anymore. But the entirety of Thunderbolts, it was such a good movie. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about this movie. And I truly think that Thunderbolts, the new Avengers, is one of the best films that Marvel has produced after Endgame. I think Deadpool and Wolverine was definitely considered one of the best of the movies this year, but in terms of my top 3, Thunderbolts, Guardians 3, and Fantastic Four are definitely my favorite movies. But with that said, that was my review of the Thunderbolts. Watched it with my girlfriend because we weren't able to get to the theaters to watch it. So this was my first time watching it ever, and I waited many days after it was out on Disney Plus to watch this because I didn't want to watch it without her. So this is kind of like an accumulation of both of our thoughts, because she's basically in the same boat as me with all of this. So yeah, that's my review on Thunderbolts. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, I'm going to be watching the last episode of Dexter Resurrection, see how that goes, and then I'll be doing a review on that. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this film review. See you tomorrow with the Dexter review.